see how it all works. But it's that time we need to make that step, and I think we're ready. I think we're tired of hitting each other and going through Missouri again for 2 weeks in a row. So we have to get out and see what we're made of and see what we're all about.
Started to see some separation at cornerback, or still kind of a bunch of rotation there?
Bunch of rotation. I know a depth chart, you have to release one. That one's, don't put much stock in that right now. I mean, that's what we had to put down on paper, but there's 3 guys that I feel that are starters: Crawford, Fleming, and Rasul. So, those 3 will see the majority of the snaps, with Nana being the next guy in.
Coach, you mentioned Benton. What kind of things has he done to, since last season, to kind of take that next step forward?
Well, I think that the biggest thing with him is his maturity. He's obviously a year smarter. His body's changed a little bit. He's stronger, faster, and just now it's his time. When you take that burden off of always looking, well, I got this guy in front of me. If I go make a mistake, am I going to get pulled right back out? So, I think now he has a little more freedom to go play, and we'll be patient, obviously, with those guys, and it's going to be a learning experience for all of us.
Is there a moment where you kind of tell him, say, now it is your time, or does that just kind of happen?
Yeah, no, we had that talk back in spring after spring ball was over. We have position meetings and individual meetings. I meet with, basically the whole defense one-on-one in my office, and, kind of give my expectations where each guy's at, and they meet with their position coach as well. But, Al and I had a great conversation at that time, and I told him, hey, we're looking to you to be our leader. And, anytime you're Mike Backer, the guy that makes the calls, and that's kind of who everybody looks to, and it's his time to step up and do that for us.
You have a lot of seniors out there, and at the same time guys who haven't started. What's going to be the greatest challenge for them right off the bat for you?
Well, just getting out and, nothing bad happening early. That's what I'm looking for. Hopefully we'll go out. It would be a shame of the first or second play of the game, to get hit with a big play or something, get momentum on their side early. That's what I hope doesn't happen. But at the
same time, maybe you could learn something about them in the process.
Yeah, you can. We have to.
Don't want to.
No, don't want to. But you have to have a short memory playing defense anyway. You have to put that series behind you and go out and adjust on the sideline and get ready to play the next one. So, that's going to be huge too in this game. We've talked a lot about as a defensive staff and with our kids is, we still don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to be Baylor's offense? Are they going to be Utah State? Are they going to be Oklahoma? Is it going to be a mixture of everybody? And, so our job as coaches is to adjust as quick as we can and get our guys up to speed on what they're doing to them.
You're awful young up front. Is that an objective of yours, is to get them guessing where you're going to come from and where you're going to be?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's, whether young or older, experienced or inexperienced, that's kind of our plan every week. We're going to try to create as much pressure as we can, and, those guys are going to have to block us. So,